Hi, this is John Fitzgerald from wise2it, and today I'm going to do a quick video on just creating kind of a proof of concept Umbraco site. This is a site I'm going to try to use for I guess my company, but the eventually I'm going to host it in the cloud. So but I want to do a local version first just to try to work out the code. And I thought this type of series of just kind of showing me just kind of fumbling along and trying to figure things out might be interesting to people who haven't had much experience with Umbraco or are new to programming. So first I'm just going to create a quick location on my hard drive, and so I'm going to create a new folder. This was one site that I was doing earlier. I'll probably end up copying and pasting some of the code from there, but I'll start a new one just kind of for like a local version of the site. Let's call it .local for now. Okay, so before I get too far along, one of the things you got to do to create a site is you need a database, an empty database. So I'm just going to create a quick one on SQL Express. Just to as I set up the project. So I'll probably have several. I have several already created, but I'll just create a new one. I'll call it wise2it. Let's just call it portal local. Alright. One of the things, since I'm an admin in my machine, of course admins have rights to connect to their own databases on their own server, obviously. But when we set up the database connection, if we using integrated security, so if I wasn't, I would create user accounts and stuff like that. But I'm not. This is just, like I said, a proof of concept. Just kind of help me figure out what I'm going to do. So and we'll create a new folder. Call it trunk. That we'll stick stuff in for now. And then what I always do, I always create a new blank solution. It just, and then I add the projects to it. So we'll call this wise2it.local. And one of the things to keep in mind, we want to use .NET 4.6. There's a core set of libraries, but when I was researching this earlier, Umbraco needs it uses the 4.6, not the core libraries, the .NET core. So okay, and then what I want to do is go ahead and add a new project. I'll do it as a web, ASP.NET, and then I'll just call it wise. Okay. And here what I'll do is I'm going to prefix all my code W2IT. and let's call it .portal.ui for our user interface or web application. And I'm just going to do an empty site. I'll do an empty site, and then if I need to add references to this, I can do that later. I'm going to rely on the NuGet package for Umbraco to add all the necessary references that it needs. One thing that I've noticed after dealing with Umbraco is it's not a good idea to if it wants a certain version of a NuGet or a DLL, not to switch it. I noticed, a while ago. I don't know if it's still the case, but I used a older reference of the log4net, and I ran into problems trying to update it to a newer version because it was just various references throughout the code was wanting the old version that was causing problems. So what I try to do with the Umbraco is all its references, there will be a specific version, and then if need be, we'll abstract necessary dependencies like log4net if need be, if we want to use a newer version of log4net in certain assemblies, but an older in other projects, but this old the correct one, or the one that's referenced by default out of the Umbraco NuGet for the Umbraco project. So as soon as this is created, I'll start adding the NuGets. Okay. Go ahead and close that. Save everything. Okay, I'll go manage NuGet packages. Alright, so right now I'm going to grab it from NuGet.org, and then what I'll do later is after I compile it and everything, I'll grab all the packages from it and I'll make a local repository. This will allow me to also work offline. I won't have to be connected to the internet, and then it'll kind of keep me constrained in that I'll only be using NuGets that the Umbraco supports. So for now, I'll get the latest from NuGet.org. And then we'll do Umbraco. Oops. Click Browse. So at some point I want to experiment with this. Like I said, I'm going to do a local version first. Later I'll see about doing a video or something, trying to make a cloud version of the site. But this should get me started in the development process. And we'll just go ahead and install it. Yay! Okay, it's done. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and run it, and we'll get the site set up real quick. I'll go ahead and enable debugging. Oh, okay, there's Umbraco. It's going now. Oh, well, I was hoping to get this video go a little bit more smooth than what we're seeing, but we'll just get it installed real quick. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and specify the database. Again, we and do my local SQL Express database. The shorthand, I don't know if you know, is if you use dot, that means local computer. SQL Express, and we call the wise2it portal local. Let's do local. I'll use integrated authentication. So we'll continue. We won't do a starter website. So let's just get things going real quick. I'm going to go ahead and create a what I'll do. I'm gonna do a template first. And I'll call this layout. And then what we'll do is HTML, body, render, body. And then what I'm going to do is create a new quick document type for the home page. Let's call it home. I think composition. Oh, okay, that's fine. So we'll create a quick tab. So a document type is kind of like your model or view model. It's where you basically specify things that you want on your page. I have a tendency to kind of over-engineer things a little bit, so I'm trying to keep it. As I'm doing this more and more, and trying to keep things a little bit more simple. So I'll just call this intro content. I don't know. And then add editor. What I want to do is, and I don't know why reuse isn't first. I mean, I would think you'd always want to reuse your existing editors than to make a copy of them. So I want to use the rich text editor. Okay, submit. Oh yeah. Introduction content. Alright. We'll just call this save. And you can change this later. Say hello there. I call this home. What am I doing? Okay. Okay, let me go back here. Doesn't look like it saved it right. Why is it not? Let's try to read it. There it is. All right. Okay, I want to go to the home template, and we want to select our master template, which will be layout, and then we have I always forget the syntax. So let me go back to the other copy of this. So one of the things it stores these in views. Oops. Yeah. I'll save that. And then the silly thing I did is I was trying to add the text to the actual property on the page when I just needed to create my home page here under the contents section instead of the settings section. Alright, let's try this now. Oops. Alright, so what I'm going to do is create a new tab. I know there's a preview, but I prefer to just, just look at it in its own tab. I think the preview now opens up a new tab, but it's still within a frame. Has not been called for a page. Render by. Did I not do that? Okay. Let's cheat a little bit. I was at render by. Alright, let's go back. I forget it's Razor. Alright, let's just refresh the page. And now we have a page. Well, I'm going to call it a day for that video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.